Hi, so today I want to show you a technique for growing out your natural nails. Now I recently decided to start growing mine out instead of doing another gel set or acrylic set. So one way that I do that is by using gel and acrylic in combination, and I'll go through the actual technique here in a minute. Basically what it does is it gives you the flexibility of gel, but it gives you some of the strength of acrylic, and it kind of binds the two together on your nail, but it stays very, very thin. So it doesn't feel like you're wearing a set, and you can wear it with or without nail polish. You can just wear it. I have it here on this nail here so that you guys can see it before I start. Now you're going to need clear acrylic, and that's what I have in here, and then just to make it easier I put it inside this little dish, and then I have this that I'm going to be using to scoop it. You can also dip your finger directly into the acrylic. Now they do make specific acrylic for this technique. The only difference is that that acrylic is very, very fine, and it's milled even more finely than this acrylic. This will work, but it can leave the surface of the nail when you're done a little bit bumpy, have a little bit of a grainy feel to it. So there's an easy way around that. You just buff it with a sander or buffer, you know, something like this, or one of the white blocks, and that'll get rid of that feeling, and then just top coat it and you're ready to go. So you will need a few things for this. First is you're going to need your clear acrylic, and you're going to possibly need something to scrape it with. Not all gels are going to require a prep aid, so dehydrator and primer, but you can use them if you like. And then you will also need a base coat and a top coat. So today I'm going to be using fingers, and these are both soak off. And that's specifically why I chose these ones. You can use any brand you like. It does not have to be this brand. You will also need an LED or a UV lamp depending on the gel you use. Now if the gel is able to cure in an LED, then that's fine. You can use an LED. You just may need to add a little bit of time to the actual cure. Today I'm using a UV, but that's just because what I have out on my table. And you may also want to use an orange wood stick just to clean up around your cuticle area. So I've already prepped and primed my nail. I'm going to go ahead and start with the base coat. And you want to use a very light hand with this. Each of your layers is going to be very thin. You want to build it up gradually so it's not bumpy. And you're just going to apply this like nail polish. You want to make sure you get it from the base all the way to the tip of the nail, and avoid the side walls. So once you have that on there, you can go ahead and clean up around the edges if you need to, and then cure that completely. So once that's cured completely, the next step is to take your top coat, and you're going to apply it in the same way. You want to go very thin and make sure that you don't touch the cuticle or side walls of the nail. Okay, once you have that applied completely, you want to make sure that you clean around the edges, and this is very important so you don't get any lifting. You're going to bring over your acrylic before you put it in the light to cure, and you're just going to dump that right over. You're just going to tap that off, the excess, and you're going to pop that in the light. Now if for whatever reason you did get some on the sides here where you don't want it, you can again clean that off with the orange wood stick. So go ahead and cure that, and then I'll meet you guys right back. So once that's cured, you're going to go ahead and repeat the process. Now I like to do this 3 times with the powder, but you can do it as many times as you like, or as few as you like. I've seen people who only do it twice, and I've seen people who do it, you know, up to 7 times to get really thick on their nail. It's all preference. Also, instead of doing this with the top coat, you can do it with the base coat and just build up the base coat instead of the top coat. So again, you're going to go ahead and clean up around your edges so that you don't get product where you don't want it. So this time I'm going to dip it instead of dumping it, just to give you a different option. So I'm going to go ahead and cure that again, and then repeat this process one more time, and then I'll meet you guys right back for the final step. You're just going to go ahead and cap that one more time in the top coat, but this time you're going to skip the powder step. And this is just going to seal everything up. Now with the other steps with the powder, I did not worry about capping the tip, but this time I am. I'm going to cap the tip with the gel. And then go ahead and cure that in the light one last time. Once that's completely cured, all it's left to do is to remove the tacky layer. I'm going to be using 90% alcohol, and then I'm just going to spray the nail and wipe away the tacky layer. So once you've removed that tacky layer, you can go in with your buffing block and then you can smooth it out if you wish to. So once you've buffed that, you can just clean the dust away with the alcohol again. And your nail's ready to go. So at this point you could add a top coat and be done with it, or you can put fingernail polish on it or gel polish, whatever you prefer. So real quick guys, I just thought I'd clarify a couple things. I realize I'm going to get a bunch of questions on this. So one of the questions I'm going to get is going to be, why is this beneficial as opposed to just doing a gel overlay or an acrylic overlay? And you definitely can do both of those things to grow out your nails and just apply very thinly. But I think the biggest advantage of doing it this way is it's easy. Basically, if you can apply nail polish, you can do this. You know, you can find the items that you need at your local Walgreens or Walmart. You know, they carry like the little acrylic sets, and then most places carry gel polish anymore. So the other thing that I'd like to point out is that this is easy to remove. You can just soak it off like any other gel polish, whereas if you're doing a builder gel overlay, you know, most of those are not soakable, so you will have to file that down. And also acrylic can be hard to work with. There's filing involved, and really with this technique there isn't too much filing. You know, you may need to do a light buffing, but other than that there really isn't much to it. Also, I wanted to add, if you're using a top coat the way that I did instead of a base coat, you know, there might be some transfer of the powder into the top coat, so you may want to dedicate one top coat to this. If you guys have any questions about prep, I'll put a video down below for you. And anything else that I left out, go ahead and ask down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching.